Journal entry 48. The New Ice King. We moved camp from Applenook to a lion guard fort in the southwestern parts of Jandaren, bordering a swamp infested with the risen. Immediately after our arrival, the knights lined us up and went into the swamp on a hunt for a risen abomination. After searching through the swamp in 2 teams, the other team found it shortly before us. It was a tough one. Not as tough as the ones in ore, but still hard to bring down. Several of the recruits fell before its mighty club. During the lineup, I had suggested to Knight Mist to explain to the recruits how to fight them, and Knight Elva backed me up, but Knight Mist just shrugged it off, saying something about "stay away from it and you will be fine." She is to blame for the injuries suffered, or to some degree at the very least. Zaya was amongst those who fell. She still refuses to speak to me, by the way. I had to threaten her with reporting her injured to Knight Alifer to get her to the medic tent upon our return to camp. I know she hates me, and she is not the only one. Leora also hates me, probably out of sympathy for Zaya. Orias as well, mostly because I am human, or because I refuse to swallow his disrespectful attitude. I promised Knight Elva that I would try to change, so I have been approaching Zaya, trying to speak to her. But today I realized something. I had tried to make Zaya speak to me for maybe half an hour, in vain. Then I patrolled the ramparts, and when I got back to where she was staying, Recruit Strongshield was with her, talking with her, not to her. He had succeeded in 5 minutes where I had failed for half an hour. When I was in basic training, we had Stromsen as a common enemy. The dislike for her was something the recruits had in common, providing a forge and anvil to hammer the recruits together into a unit. A common enemy is an easy way to make any group of high diversity stay together. Just look at the Pact, and the Vigil for that matter. So have I become the enemy the recruits need, the new Ice King that will make the recruits hate me, but at the same time forge them together without them noticing it? I think so. Knight Stromsen is back though, so maybe I am wrong. Maybe she once again will be in charge of the training. I will just have to wait and see, as always it seems. But I shall wear this crown of thorns with pride, and if the time comes that my attitude towards the recruits will get me kicked out of the chapter, I will walk away with my head held high. The news is that apparently I am the most senior crusader in the chapter, so when no knight is around I am in charge. But when asking Knight Mist about what this really means, she told me I just have the authority to keep them all in camp, nothing else. So basically, I am their nanny. I think this is part of her plan to lessen my feeling of self-esteem. Almost a year of service to the chapter, and what have I become? A nanny, or maybe a herder, making sure no one leaves the herd on his watch. Signed, Crusader Wulopin Ivoryheart, Herder of the Ashen Chapter.